What's happening, people? Welcome to the Sound Design channel. My name is La, and today I just made this track. Well, I've pretty much finished the track, but I just wanted to add a little something to it. So I made this nice kind of mid-bass synth to fill out the mid-range in the track. So this is the sound here. And it's to complement this groove here. Cool, so all the other sounds that you hear in this track were made from the Organica pack through Production Music Live. Really, really great pack. It's got so many good sounds in it. I've not even made my way through half of the sounds yet. And yeah, I really enjoy it. So let's get into this sound, this synth sound. Open up Diva here. Diva is my favorite synth by far. It just has a really nice tone to it. I'll just make this a little bit bigger so you can see, or a lot bigger. Make sure my face is not in the way. No, we're all good. All right, cool. So when I use Diva, I always put multi-core on because it uses less CPU, because Diva definitely does use a lot of CPU. One thing I need to do before I get into the sound design is just drag over the MIDI. The MIDI is actually pretty simple. It's just a chord. The chords that are being played is just from D sharp. It's working down the scale. So I'm in the D sharp minor scale. Let's see here, and then I'm just playing the fifths above. So if you count five notes up in the scale above, or 7 semitones up the keyboard. So if you see that, 7 semitones up would be the A, and I'm just doing that, and it just creates a really nice tone. So we'll just solo this sound now. If we just listen to the Diva patch now, it will sound like this, very deep and dark. Which might trick you into thinking it's not sounding nice, but all you need to do is just move it up an octave. And then you get this really nice warm bass. But what we want to do is actually change it a little bit around. I'm going to put this on dual VCO Eco. This actually uses less CPU, and we don't need all the other things in the other module. All we want is a sawtooth, which is tuned up pretty high in the octave, because I have a bass that's going to occupy this space here. And then we're going to put this noise oscillator over, but not that much, just a little bit. You just create this a bit of low end, so we're going to take care of that in a moment. So what we want to do now is we're going to go to this filter section, excuse me, and we're going to put this on Cascade, and we're going to change this lag to envelope 1. So we're going to use envelope 1 to modulate the LFO 2, and we're also going to use it to modulate the cutoff filter, which is what it's assigned to now. So you can hear now that the sound is sustained, right? And it's coming in a little bit gradual, but we want it a little bit more. But I actually want to control the release as well, so I'm going to put it on analog, so I can control this release. Around there is all good, but we want to bring this decay up and bring that attack up a bit more. There we go. I want it to just gradually come in. So we're not using this envelope at all, we're just using this one envelope. So on add is now currently set to velocity and pressure, I believe. So on add we have velocity and pressure. All add is just 2 modulation sources being added together, and then you can use that add on different things. So in this case it's added to the cutoff filter. But we want to change this to LFO 2. So we're going to put on LFO 2, and we can maybe leave it on pressure, but the main thing is we want LFO 2 to be engaged. So LFO 2 is down here, and we put this on saw down, which is the waveform, and I'm going to put this on polarity, so then it will only LFO in one direction. And then we're going to change this to sync, and then we're going to change the timing to 1/8 dotted. Okay, and now you're going to get this effect. There's a bit of a delay, so let's bring this over. There we go. But we do want a bit of a delay because we want to have a bit of movement in the sound. But the next thing we want to do is just add a bit more reverb. But bring down the decay a little bit. And turn the size a bit. We do want it to be a very nice kind of paddy feeling sound, but we don't want it to be too washed out essentially. Okay, so we are almost done with the sound, to be honest. There's not much more that I would like to do to this sound, but we can actually affect this rate mod here. So if we go on here where it says none, we change this to envelope 1. Now we can do this, which is a lot of fun. And so what's happening is envelope 1, which is here, is affecting the rate, which is this rate here. So it's affecting it only if you move it off the center line. So if we reset this, if you look at the top, it will say 0. It might be a bit confusing. You might think, oh no, that's 50%, because if it's down here, it should be 0. But no, on Diva, this is 0. And then if I move this across, it's going to be increasing. If I move it the other way, which can also be a cool effect. So yeah, we're going to leave that there. And then we're going to go to here, and we're going to automate this. So that was the last thing that I clicked, so I can click this now. Click on this, press A. And now what I can do is assign a little bit of LFO over, well, a little bit of movement within the LFO over time. So I'll just unsolo this so we can actually hear what's going on, and we'll just figure something out. So also I need to take away a bit of the low end and boost a little bit in the high here so we can really hear that top part. Alright, so let's we could add a little bit of movement, kind of not predictably, but maybe like here. Nice, really interesting sound. We do need to do a little bit more mixing here. I think I'm going to take away a bit more low end, because if we look here on my sub bass, the sub bass is taking up, well, it's not just a sub bass, it's taking up a bit of this area here, so kind of need them to work with each other. So I'm going to take a bit more here, a bit of compression. The reason I want to compress it is because it does change. It's quite dynamic, the sound, and there's parts where it'll be a bit louder than others, so I want to just control it a little bit of a quick attack and a quick release. And you can see it's resetting every time, so it's just grabbing those points each time. Because we have a lot of reverb on here, we do want to make sure that it's in mono in the lower region. So from 120 Hertz, it's going to be in mono. And then we can actually make the rest of the sound a little bit wider. Take away this, don't need it. And that's essentially it. I mean, you can go a little bit further, maybe add a little bit of saturation, just to bring it out a little bit more. Just bring it to 50%, not too much. And we just need to check the volume here, because we are getting a little bit loud. And I'll put the saturation before the compressor, so it just grabs it there. Nice. And we can actually make it stronger if we go to add here. Yeah, you can just increase these and it will just make the sound a bit more intense. But it will make it louder though, so you need to be wary of that. Just take this saturation down a little bit, take that down a little bit as well. Alright guys, so that about wraps it up for the sound. I hope you enjoyed it and you learnt a thing or two. If you did, let us know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more of our tips, and you hit the notification button as well. Yeah, so my name is Isla. I do run a channel called Out of the Loop, so you can head over to my channel if you like and see some of my content. It's here on YouTube. It's just called Out of the Loop. So yeah, thank you very much guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.